Hello and welcome to Spectral Readings. Don't mind me posing for a thumbnail here. My name is Cameron, and this is how to make a spiritual bath with 3 ingredients. It's very simple, but this is what you do if you need to cleanse negative energy from yourself, from your front door, from your car. This is what you do. You can cleanse pretty much anything in this. I'm not sure if you would want to put this on a cat or a dog, but it's very versatile. This is what you do. Now, if you like this, please like, comment, subscribe. If you are here because you are desperate and needing of cleansing, focus on this crystal. It's a selenite. I'm here to help you. Anyway, you want to start with a container. Now, why a container for a spiritual bath if you have a bathtub? Well, for cleansing especially, you don't want to sit in it. You just want to pour it over yourself so the energy can go away, so you can be cleaned. That's the idea. Anyway, you want to start with a container. Doesn't matter really what size. I use a big old pot, but this is fine, especially because you can see through it for the purpose of demonstration. Now, I use a big old pot on myself just once, right? But something even small with a lid, you can prepare a bath and use it over the course of a few days. So it doesn't really matter how big it is. Now, the water is supposed to be cold. Remember that heat is energy. So if it's hot, it's full of energy, and you're trying to cleanse yourself of energy. So you want it cold. But where I live, it is very cold outside. And I don't always like to pour cold water on myself. It's better than nothing if you can just do like relatively warm water instead of hot. Also, I prefer filtered water. I have a filter on my shower head. It's only like $20 to do that. But if you want to cleanse yourself with river water, you can absolutely do that. Just drinking water is the idea. Now, the first ingredient is Cascarilla. Now, what is this? This is what it looks like. It comes in these little paper containers, and it's eggshell powder. Very, very, very powerful for cleansing. Eggs on their own are great. I'll tell you about that in a later video. They're like magnets that hold in negative energy. Pretty incredible. Now, if you can't source this, you can find this online easily. You can find it at botanicas or spiritual shops near you. But if you seriously just cannot get a hold of this, you can use baby powder instead or white chalk. But anyway, also the masters will just like crumble this in. And really, nothing has to be too perfect. But I like to use my athame or a crystal, and I scrape it off. That way it's all broken up. And when you're using an athame or a crystal, or even just your hands, you want to put your intention through it, that it will be cleansing. If you have any problem, that you're trying to work toward any goal, that you're trying to work toward a problem that you're trying to overcome, it's a good opportunity working with any of the ingredients to put your intentions through them into the water. Now, how much do you need? Really just enough to change the color of the water, which has pretty much already happened. With a bigger container, you'll want to use more. It's really about the ratios. There's, like I said, nothing has to be perfect. Also, it started to make a noise, so I listened, and I think that was enough of it. Now, I will stir this. Just so it's evenly dispersed. And as you can see, the water has changed colors. There's a good amount of it in there. Oh, it's spinning so beautifully. The next ingredient is Florida water. This is like a citrus perfume. It comes in containers just like this. Maybe you've seen this before and didn't know what it was. But this is something that I use at least twice a day just on myself to refresh myself. It's like spiritual hand sanitizer. Now, Florida water is not ancient. So what did they do in ancient times? Perfume. maybe some sort of oil that was fragranced. It's very cleansing. How much do you want to use? The correct answer is enough to change the scent of the water. Oh, this stuff is so beautiful. And I can already feel the cleansing properties and effects of this. Now, a lot of times when people are working with stuff, they're like, I can't feel it. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Still do it. Just because you can't fully feel it doesn't mean that it's not working. Now, also just a quick thing is some people think or have been told that they need spirit to come to them one day and tell them, hey, you can do this stuff. The truth is, we're all the same. If you haven't had a moment like that, it doesn't necessarily matter. You can do anything you need to do in order to save yourself. You do not need to wait for someone to come save you. That's the biggest lie, the biggest mistruth from teachings that was just made up, is that we need to wait for somebody to come save us. We're supposed to save ourselves. Now, anyway, the next ingredient is white flowers. Also, these are called palms, and they're good because they have a lot of petals that aren't too small. And if you have a lot of tiny petals, they can kind of just make a mess. And you want them to be kind of bigger, but it doesn't really matter what flower you use as long as it's white for this. If money is no object, roses are just the best. But what can you use instead of this? Just like instead of Florida water, you could use some sort of perfume that's cleansing, smelling. Instead of these flowers, you could use dried flowers if that's all you have, like chamomile tea. If you have that, but no access to flowers, you can use that. Or you can go pick flowers. I've been in that situation so many times where I've needed a flower, but I just could not go get one, could not find the flower I needed. So you go out, you pick a flower, you leave a quarter in its place, especially if it's somebody else's flower, and it's yours. You say thank you. How much do you need, and how do you do this? You rip the petals off, put them in the water, and technically you just need a handful of flower petals. I like to cover the top with them. And I'm not using the tiny little petals in the center. I still appreciate them. Sometimes after I take all the petals off, I'll just put everything together, especially if I'm using sunflowers. But for this, just the petals is perfectly fine. That'll do. I'll give this a mix. It's just habit now, but what I've learned is that you're supposed to mix things counterclockwise. And I haven't exactly asked why, because usually during ceremonies, I need someone to translate for me because I don't speak perfect Spanish. So I haven't exactly asked why, but that's the way it is. If you don't resonate with that, that's fine. You can do it however you would like. And anyway, so now you have this beautiful thing. If you're going to cleanse yourself with it, you could go outside. I mean, very traditionally, there was not much inside. There was mostly outside. So you would go outside and pour this over yourself, or go into your shower, go into your tub, pour this over yourself. But before you do that, pray over it. Put your intentions into it. Put your hands in there and mix it around, and just say what you need. You need your energy to be cleaned. You need your head to cool down, so you're not so flustered. You need to be able to see clearly, and white especially is for the head. So you need to cleanse your energy. You put your intention into this, you mix it around, and then you pour it over yourself. Try to get it everywhere. And then once you have poured it over yourself and it's gotten everywhere, you want to stand for a moment and let it drip off of you. And then if you're using like flower petals, after like a minute of standing, or however long you can bear, get them off, right? Put them down, and then walk out of your shower. Now, the idea is not to rinse off after doing this. You want to leave it on you. And technically, you're not even supposed to towel dry. You're supposed to air dry. But you should do this for about 3 days in a row or 2 days in a row. If you can only just do it once, that's fine. But the idea is to do it a few days in a row. And you should do something like this every other week, at least once a month. Some people are born in a way where they never have to do anything. But, if you're here, that's probably not the case. You should probably clean yourself regularly. If you notice, and I'll make a video about how to tell when you have to clean your energy, but if you notice that things are not going well, your house might even be disheveled, in disorder, you might notice that people are treating you different, you might notice that you're having negative thoughts, this is what you do. And let's see, is there anything else I should tell you? Yes, this is the basic. This is the bread and butter of cleaning yourself. Spiritual bath, banyo. But you can add anything you want to this, pretty much. Rosemary oil is good. If you'd like to cleanse yourself but open pathways to money, you could add almond oil to this. Yep. But this is the base. And this is all you need, pretty much. And like I said, if you would like to clean the energy of your house a little, you can mop your floors with this. And then once it's all dried, you can vacuum up or sweep up the flower petals. You can clean your doors with it. Very useful. Especially if there's something off about the energy in your house. Sage is very good for cleaning the energy of your house, but this is great for cleaning the energy of yourself and your house. And I say this about sage. It's great. You can do it every day, but it's like broccoli. It's so good for you. You should eat it. You could definitely eat it every day, but you shouldn't only eat broccoli. You should mix it up. You should try out different ways of cleaning yourself. Let's say you do this every week, and that's perfect, but you could alternate things in between, or maybe you do this 1 week and you do something else another week, and I'll tell you more about different ways you can cleanse yourself. But until then, thank you for being here. Smash that like. My name is Cameron. I mostly make zodiac tarot videos on my channel. You can check those out. Comment, subscribe, donate, or you could even book a personal reading. But anyway, I will leave you with that. Thank you for being here, and best of luck to you.